My dear class 11 student, very good afternoon. Hope you are well and safe. So this is a class of accountancy, and you know in accountancy part we are going through the chapter trial balance and rectification of error. Now what is trial balance? How we will reveal the trial balances, that is ledger. Okay, that's all I have discussed in last two classes. What is trial balance and how the trial balances will become, that is first you should make journal, then you post this journal entry to a ledger, a particular account, and from this particular account you get a balance, and this balance is right or wrong is tested in the trial balance. This is a trial. Before going to the final account, that is stating and profit and loss and balance sheet, this will be happen after few classes. Before that we are checking that whatever we have done still now is right or wrong. Then we go to the final account. Okay. So in trial balance I said, suppose in your exam the ledger will not come. Here what things actually they given? They given the balances. And the balances can be two types. Either it will be the debit balance or it will be the credit balance. Now what balances will be the debit and what balances will be the credit? I have discussed these things also in your last class. Generally we see, when we actually learn about the golden rule of accounting, there was three accounts is there. And from there we already learned which should be debited and which balances should be credited. Okay. Now, suppose I am telling you just capital. So capital is a liability. So capital is a credit balance. Suppose I am telling you that in commission receipt. Okay. Commission receipt is the income. So in nominal account, income will be always credited. So here also balance will be credited. Suppose purchase machinery. Okay, then machinery, what is machinery? Machinery is an asset. So asset is always a debit balance. And what are else things is debited? Expenses and losses will be debited. Okay, as these are the nominal account. Okay, so there is you have to remember two things. Which balance will be debited and which balance will be credited. In debit side, two things is come. One is asset, is always debit balance, and other is expenses and losses, always debit balance. And in credit side, the two things is come. One is liability and others are income. Then we easily can posted this in trial balance, and through that we can check that our balances whatever come out to ledger is right or wrong. If there is a wrong balances, two part total of debit or credit if not match, because we know in double entry system each and every debit balance have equal amount of credit balance. Okay, so debit equal to credit will always happen. So if this will not match, then what happen? There is something wrong you have done in journal or ledger. Okay, then you have to go back and check your whole account. But sometimes what happens, that whatever journal in companies, when you practical field, there are lots of journal you have to entry. Okay, ledger account there are lots of postings. So it is immediately it cannot back to your total of account. So whatever the difference comes, you just write here the suspense account. You have to match the debit and credit, and which side will be less you have to match, or which side will be less you have to match with that side. That side may be suspense account. And later on you check, when you will get time, later on you check what actually happened in your journal and ledgers in your account already you have done. Okay. So if there is balance is not matching, you can use the suspense account, and through suspense account you can match the debit and credit. But it is not always. Okay. And your examination also, if you not match, then you can write the suspense. Okay. But sometimes this type of question will become where you have to do the journal, then ledger, and whatever the balances you made, then you have to posting in the trial balance. Suppose their marks will be 8 marks will be there. Okay, then if your balances is not matching, then automatically you will know, the beauty of trial balance is you automatically will know that you have done something wrong in your journal or ledger. Okay. Now we take a practical problem from your NCERT book. From that we learn how we can balance this thing. How can we do the trial balance posting? Now in trial balance the format is like that. Trial balance actually made from a particular date. Suppose after 1 year, or suppose after 6 months you want to check your account, so you are making trial balance. So after 6 months, suppose September, 30th September you want to check. So as that date, trial balance as that, here I am writing 31st March 2014 as you am taking for your NCERT book, the example. Then there is a serial number, head of account. Head of account means rent, salary, capital, machinery, purchase, sale, these are the heads of account. Then ledger folio number, which ledger folio means page. Okay, which page you have taken this balance, that is ledger folio. Then there is a debit and there is a credit, and book is received. This is simple format of trial balance. Nothing very complicated format, actually very simple format. Now Debargo is there. Am I audible to you? Debargo? Debargo, I am audible to you. Can you hear me? Just write in your chat box. Okay. So anytime if you have any problem, you can write in your chat box, I will explain. Okay. Now just look. So you just keep your copy of NCERT book with you. Okay, and page number 199, there is a test your understanding, and this practical problem we will solve now. So just look your book. There you can see, indicate against each amount whether it is debit or credit balance. So first you have to learn what balance will be debited and what balance will be credited, and if you learn that, automatically trial balance will be made. And prepare a trial balance as at March 31, 2014 based on the following balances. Now account title and amount. There is a capital. First account title means head of accounts, that is capital. So serial number 1, there is a capital. Now capital amount rupees is 1 lakh. So capital is liability, and I am just said about that. Whatever the liability, if anything is liability, the balance will be credit balance. Okay. So capital will be credit balance, so it will be entered in credit side. That is 1 lakh. Just posted. Okay. So this will be the credit balance. Now drawings. What is drawings? When the owner withdraws some money for his personal use, that's called drawing. Drawing is the expenses for business. Okay, because as per entity concept, business and business who actually owner is a different person. Okay, as per accounting entity concept, the business and who was the owner of this business are a different person. So if the owner of the business is withdrawing some money from business, that is actually the expenses of business. Maybe the business name is Mrs. Robi Traders, Mrs. Raju Varieties. Okay, so these are the business. And suppose the Robi Mondal is the owner of this business. So if Robi Mondal withdraws some money from Robi Traders, that will be his personal expenses and not for business purpose. If anything not business purpose, that will be the personal. Means if Robi Mondal withdraws some money from Robi Traders of his own business, but in accounting perspective, whatever money withdrawn by the owner will be called a drawing, and it is actually the expense of business. So when the expense will come, I have already said expense will be always debited. Expenses and losses balance will always be debit balance. Okay, so drawing would be debit. Number 2, drawing will be debit. Now drawing, that is 16,000 is there. Just write in debit side. Okay, now machinery. Just few moments before I have discussed all the asset would be debit balance. So machinery balance will become in debit side. So machinery is a asset. So all the asset balance will be come in debit side. So machinery will be 20,000. Okay. Now number 4. Sales. Now sales, what happened actually when we selling some goods? What actually happened? Either we receive money in cash or through bank. So it is actually income. Okay. So if anything income, then your balance will be credit balance. Liability and income balance will be credit balance, and asset and expense balance will be debit balance. There's two things you have to always in your head. And after that you just see, is it a expenses, is it a asset, is it a liability, is it a income. If it is the income, then it will be credit balance. If it will be the liability, it will be the credit balance. If it is the asset, it will be debit balance. If it is expenses, it will be the debit balance. So in case of sales, we are actually through sales we are getting some cash, or through bank we receive money. So it is our income. We are generating income through selling the goods. Okay. So sales is a income. So whenever income will become, sales balance will be credited. Sales will be 2 lakh. Now purchase. Purchase is actually our expenses, because whenever if we purchase some goods, then it will be our expenses. We have to pay money. We have to give cash to somebody else from whom we are purchased. Okay. Or either it will be cash, or either through check, or through bank. Okay. Through NFT, RTGS we can pay the amount of the goods whatever we purchase. So this is for business, it is the expenses. So if it is the expenses, then purchase will become in the debit side, that is 2,10,000. Okay, now come to number 6. Sales return. Now you are selling some goods to somebody. Okay. Now whatever goods you sell, there are some goods are damaged or defective. So what happened? Whom you actually sell, he will be returned back to you. Whenever he is returned back, then it will not be your income then. Okay. So what will happen? Sales return. Okay. Sales return is a just opposite of sales. That is not your income. Actually it is your the value you have to debit it. Okay. Sales is a income, that's why it is credited. If the opposite happens, sales return, that will be debited. Now sales return is here 20,000. Because that amount of goods money we cannot receive. Because this is defective. Suppose you sell 100 unit of goods. From there 10 units return back. So this 10 unit you cannot receive as a through cash or bank. You have to again give back to the, if the payment is already made, you have to return back the money to the from actually whom you actually sell. Okay. So this is actually your expense again. So sales return will be 20,000. Then what happened if the purchase return? In the case of purchase return, the same thing. Purchase as your expenses. If you return back some of the goods, as when you are purchasing some goods, you also see this good is actually okay, good quality, whatever you ordered it, the goods is like that or not. If there is something damaged, something defective, then you will also return back the goods to supplier who actually supply it to you. So when we are purchasing the goods, that is our expenses. But when we are actually return back, whatever purchase goods, there are some defective goods we are return back, that is purchase return, then it will be not our expenses. This amount of money for that type defective goods will not pay it, we will return back. Okay. So purchase return will be your income, that is 30,000. Purchase return, that is 30,000. Now this sales return and this purchase return, we can, sometime you can see that will be written down as return outward. Outward, somewhere you can see return outward, and that will be return inward. Sales return is return inward. Somewhere you can see that is the same thing. Okay, return outward and return inward. Okay. Now there is a wages. Wages, you know, wages for factory worker were working, so they are getting some money, and this money, whatever they are receiving, so giving their skill, giving their service, okay, that's expenses done by the business is called wages. Okay, the payment of workers is called wages, which is actually the expenses. If it will be the expenses, then automatically it will be debited. So wages amount is 40,000. 40,000. Now come number 9, goodwill. Now goodwill is actually intangible asset. Goodwill you cannot touch, you cannot feel. Whatever the asset, just like furniture. Here some furniture is there. There is a blackboard, there is a furniture. This furniture is called asset also. Okay, but this asset we can touch, we can feel, we can see. But goodwill is also a fixed asset, but you cannot touch, you cannot feel, you cannot see. These assets are called intangible asset. But whenever the asset is come, that balance will be always debit. Okay, so that goodwill balance is also be debited. Then goodwill, there is a 60,000 will be debit. Goodwill means reputation. Number 10, interest received. Suppose you invested in your fixed deposit in your bank, from there interest received. Suppose you invested some of your money in bank. Okay, you make business. Business invested some of their excess money as an investment in fixed deposit. From there, which thing they will actually, which purpose they actually invested in fixed deposit? Because they have returned back the interest. Okay, they will return back the interest. So interest is your income. So whenever interest received, this is your income. If this is the income, that will be credit balance. Now interest received will be the credit balance. Now 15,000. Now number 11. Discount allowed. Discount allowed. Now discount allowed and discount received. What is discount allowed? Suppose you sell the goods which value is rupees 1 lakh. Okay. Now you sell in credit. But you said if somebody purchase in cash, as you are selling, somebody is purchasing. If somebody purchase in cash, then we'll give a cash discount of 10%. Means 1 lakh 10% means 10,000. So you can sell the goods at the price of 90,000. Actually, not a price of, you actually sell the goods in the 19,000, there will be 10,000 will be the discount. This discount is called discount allowed. And this discount allowed, whatever money you are actually giving as a discount is your loss. Okay, because your total sale price is 1 lakh. As you are receiving money very immediate basis, so you don't want to sell in credit. That's why you are giving discount. As you are giving discount, somebody will see that the price is 1 lakh rupees for this goods, and we are getting payment in cash or through bank immediately. Then we will get it is 90,000. So they will started to pay you the 90,000, and your actual business will actually making losses. But you need also the money. That's why you are giving the discount. Okay, though it is loss for you, but you need some urgent liquid money you needed. That's why you are giving discount at that time. Okay, so the sale will be increases, and at the same time the sale will be increases. In the credit sale that will not happen. It is a for cash sale. In credit sale there is no discount. Credit sale there is also a discount. What type of discount in credit sale can come? Suppose you credited, you sell some goods in credit. Okay, so you sell some goods in credit, and there you say the creditors who are actually taking the goods in credit, they call actually creditors. Whenever you sell, whenever sale you are giving, they actually call debtors. When you making credit sale, they are called debtors, and when you are purchasing in credit some goods, they are called creditor. You have to pay them. Now in case of sale, you have to receive money. So you are selling the goods in credit, means you receive money some 1 month after or 2 months after. So there is credit period you have set it. That is after 2 months, the debtor actually assure you after 2 months they will payment to you. So give the credit for 2 months. Okay, but after 2 months, when you ask, suppose you sell the goods to the RAM. Okay, but when you sell the goods to the RAM in credit, but after 2 months, the RAM refuses to give you the whole of the money, then you are now a position that you need the money, but still you are not getting from whatever sale you have made to the RAM. Whatever goods you have sold, the value will be maybe 1 lakh, suppose. So this amount you are not receiving from him after those 2 months is left. Then what happens? Business actually to collect the money, business can say to Ram, just see Ram, here actually we are giving some 10,000 discount. So if you paid 90,000, we will clear your balance of 1 lakh. Okay, means there will be 10,000 loss for business. Again, actually your value of the goods is 1 lakh. You are giving 10,000 discount, means there is a 10,000 loss. So if there is a loss or expenses, that balance will be debited. So discount allowed will be debited. But opposite thing happen when discount received. You are receiving the discount. Suppose you purchase the goods in credit, but you are not paying the creditors. Then whatever creditors can give you offer to just actually less your money, whatever goods you purchase. Suppose you purchase the goods of 1 lakh, but you are giving the money, they are offered you to give the money 90,000 and settle the account, but that will be finished. Okay, 1 lakh will be erased from your account. So in that case also, you are receiver of the discount, and discount receipt will be happen to the business, and that time that is actually your income. You have to pay the 1 lakh, but now you are paying the 90,000, so this is 10,000 will be your income. In case of discount receipt, that is income, that will be credited, and in case of discount allowed, when you are giving discount to somebody, then it will be your loss, that is your expenses, and that will be debited. Discount allowed rupees 6,000 will be debited. Now, bank overdraft. Bank overdraft is is actually there. Suppose there is a bank account. Suppose there is a bank account, but your bank balance in that bank account is 50,000. But you actually, as per your needs, in case of business, they actually open the current account, not the saving account. And this bank gives them the facility that they can withdraw money, whatever the money they deposited. So the balance of the bank current account is 50,000, but they can withdraw more than 50,000, and at the time they withdraw more than 50,000, the money whatever they withdraw, they have to pay the interest, and they have to back this money also. Okay, so this is actually your responsibility to reback the money to the bank. So that's why this bank overdraft is actually your liability. And in case of liability, it will come to the credit side, that is 22,000. Now bank loan. So if you taking loan, then we have to repay this loan, and this is also your liability. So what happened? This bank loan of 90,000 is also the liability. Okay. Now there is a debtors. Debtors I just said, debtors whom you have to sell in credit. Okay. So debtors will be also your asset, because if the money will be receivable to you, this is a current asset. Debtors will be called current asset. So in current asset, debtors, very soon you receivable the money, so that is actually your asset. So here is the amount 5075. So debtors will be debited 75,000. And there is creditors also, number 15 creditors. There is a shortage of place, so I am writing here number 15 in creditors, and creditor balance is 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, we have merged both RINA and bonus. This is 60,000. We have to pay it. So that is our, whenever responsibility obligation to pay is come, that is called liability. Now cash. Cash, you know, cash is an asset. So I am just somewhere here I am writing the cash. Now cash is an asset, so it will be debited. It is for 54,000. Okay. Now this is a stock on April 1, 2013. So you are doing the trial balance for the 31st March 2014, but there is opening stock is there, and this opening stock is also your expenses, because you already expense this amount, and this amount is just in, as it is not, you cannot sell it, so this is actually in your go down, this is the treated is the stock, but you have already paid the amount. So this amount of goods, that is stock, whatever is left is actually your expenses. So opening stock is your expenses. Here I am writing that will be your debit balance, opening stock. What is the amount? 16,000. So as shortage of place, I am writing here. Okay. So if you sum of this debit side and this credit side, that will be automatically matched. And sum should be done by you in your home, so that their page number. This page number is 199 in the chapter of trial balance and rectification of error. You can see it in your test, your understanding. The example, and one example is there, but solve is not made. That's the question is there. Test your understanding 1. From there I have actually taken this for practical problem and solved it. Okay. So you can just go to the trial balance and rectification of error chapter. There you can see the test your understanding, and from there you can find it. Hope you have understand this. Yeah, is there any problem? Is there any problem? So next day we will again do a practical problem in this trial balance, and hope you will understand and your tolerance will be more. more than. Have you understood? Okay, so thank you for now. Again there will be BUST class, then we'll again come to the BUST class. So thank you for now. This class is in here. Okay, thank you.